Hi, America. Let's chat. Here we are in the wake of another mass shooting, this time in a school in Parkland, Florida. We seem to be the only industrialized nation that is seemingly continually dealing with mass shootings. It's happening in schools, in concerts, churches, movie theaters, the streets of Dallas, Chicago. And at some point you have to ask yourself why. We get caught up in so many unimportant debates that we can't even agree on the facts anymore. Was it 13 school shootings in 2018 so far, or was it only 7? Was it an assault rifle, or is this just a semi-automatic? Was the weapon bought legally, or what does insert your favorite celebrity here have to say about it? And all this does is distract from our ability to have an open and honest conversation about how to prevent this in the future. We can't even agree on the cause. One side saying it's a mental health issue and that's where all of the conversation needs to be, while the other side saying, hey, we have to take a look at some of these gun laws. It's gonna be hard to come up with a solution to the problem if you can't even agree on the cause. So round and round we go on a seemingly endless cycle of mass shooting, thoughts and prayers, discussion, inaction, mass shooting. Some of this inaction is due to the way that our government currently runs. Even when everyone agrees on an issue and presents a bill, someone somewhere comes along and says, I will support this bill, but only if you support my bill. And the bill gets bundled up with all of these other things that you may or may not agree with. And someone who believes in that cause ends up voting against the bill because it's bundled up with all of these other things, or there was a last minute addition or a subtraction and they no longer agree with the bill. So nothing happens. Our democracy needs an update. So I have an idea. What if we had a nationally televised event in which the sole purpose was to prevent mass shootings in the future? Since we can't even agree on whether it's a mental illness issue or a gun laws issue, let's handle both separately. I'm calling for a nationally televised summit in which we handle both of these issues separately in an open and honest forum in which America can follow along. In one part, we discuss mental illness and how that intersects with our mass shooting epidemic. Don't even let gun laws or anything else distract from the issue at hand. We put our politicians in a room with a mediator and have this discussion every day until they can draft a bill. In another part of the summit, we discuss the gun laws and how they contribute to our mass shooting epidemic. Don't let mental illness or violent video games or anything else that might distract from the topic at hand even enter the conversation. And we do this every day until we can come up with a bill with a goal of preventing these mass shootings in the future. These two bills need to be passed simultaneously and signed into law immediately. Don't allow them to be bundled with anything else. Don't allow any last-minute additions or subtractions to the law. These bills need to stand on their own. It's way too important for partisanship to get in the way. There's going to be concessions on both sides. But if we can come to a solution together in an open and honest environment in which all of America can follow along and see how we arrived to that solution, the American people will support it. Now, I know what you're thinking. How are we even going to have this conversation? There's so much misinformation out there, I don't even know what to believe anymore. Fake news. The answer to that is you cannot let a lie stand. The beginning of every day of this summit, we start with a fact-checking period where they discuss any lie, number, or any misleading information from the previous day. We call it out for the lie that it is. There should be a mutually agreed upon fact-checker so we don't end up with my facts versus your facts, or left facts and right facts. We just have the facts. Once we have that, we can continue with the conversation. We put our lawmakers in a room with a mediator who will hold them to the truth and ensure that they follow the rules of the summit. This has to be an open and honest conversation, not the kind of dialogue where being the loudest voice in a room gets you something. We don't need to watch a repeat of seemingly every political debate in which the mediator is just struggling to keep control of the conversation while everyone is talking over each other. If someone breaks the rules of the summit, they can't take part in it anymore. There need to be rules and consequences for everybody. I'll tell you right now, some of your representatives aren't going to like this idea. They're not going to want this to happen. Maybe they're desensitized to all of these mass shootings because of their frequency. Maybe they're profiting off of it. It doesn't matter because their inaction leads to the same result. Nothing. Again, this is so much more important than Democrat versus Republican. We're all at risk. My life, your life, the lives of your children are so much more important than whether you vote for only donkeys or elephants or whatever other animals represent political parties. If your representative isn't even willing to have a conversation, vote them out. This November, we have an opportunity to remind our representatives that they work for us. And if they refuse to, we will replace them with someone who will. If they refuse to take action for your safety, vote them out. Even if it means you have to cross party lines to do so. This is something that we should all be able to get behind. Best case scenario, we stop mass shootings in our country. Worst case scenario, we do something to help the mentally ill and reduce gun violence. I don't know how to solve this problem, but I have faith that if we can come together as Americans, collectively, we can fix this. Right now, this is just an idea, but I need you to help me make this happen. If you agree with this idea, like and share this video. #MassShootingSummit. And with enough pressure on our representatives, we can make this happen. We can fix this. Let's remind our politicians that patriotism is so much more than loving a flag. It's fighting for the ideals that that flag stands for.